we've got a big ACLJ victory to announce, a really quick victory to announce in the case involving the students targeted because of their pro-life. In this case, it was shirts and clothing items at the National Archives, of course, who cannot keep track of classified documents, but could put up a system of harassment against our clients who were students with pro-life they were attending the March for Life, went to the National Archives to go see the Constitution, Declaration of Independence, and were harassed the entire time they were there, from security guards on to people even at the gift shop.
We went then into what you do is you say, we're going to go and we're going to file a TRO. So you send the papers to the Department of Justice first, because that's required under the local rules for, they call it a meet and confer. And we said, if you don't agree to this, we're going to go to court and get this. And it went back and forth. And the end result is we got a preliminary injunction from prohibiting visitors. So no longer will the prohibit visitors from wearing T-shirts, hats, buttons, other items that display protest language, including religious and political speech. This injunction is good until January of 2025. Now, this is a separate lawsuit from the Smithsonian. That's a different lawsuit that we're dealing with there. Now, what we're going to do on that one is we're giving the Smithsonian, interestingly, it's not a federal agency. The Smithsonian is a federal entity. So they're not represented by the Department of Justice. They're represented by the General Counsel's Office of the Smithsonian. So I know it's confusing, but this is the nature and the scope of what we do. They even offered an apology and a tour of the facilities. Yep.
And they're going to provide this decree to all of their staff that interact with anyone from the outside, anyone from the general public. So that does not just include security officers, but it includes, like you said, the docents, the people who show you around the museum, have the blazers on, the people at the gift shop. Everybody at the museum who interacts with a person has got this now.
It was passive speech. What I mean by passive speech is they were just wearing a shirt that said something to the effect of pro-life generation, or had a bracelet on that said pro-life. And that became the basis for this, constitutional showdown at National Archives, where these students were mistreated in an incredible way. But it's important to understand at the outset what they were engaged in. And they were engaged in classic passive speech. It's still considered speech, even though it's not verbal. Expression is the word that you would use in a proceeding.
The National Archives was violating the First Amendment of our clients. And, we got involved very quickly. We let them know very quickly what happened. And in this consent order, it's, important to note that the National Archives literally states that they regret the actions and the events on January 20th. And they're going to remind their security personnel and their employees of the rights of visitors. And of course, a visitor has a right under the First Amendment to walk into the National Archives wearing a T-shirt that says something pro-life. That is something that is constitutionally protected.
It's just the beginning. Now we have 90 days of mediation, which allows for a discovery as well. And of course, that there is a damages claim here, just to make that clear to folks. So this is not just about getting a relief so that you can return to the museum without fear if you've got a pro-life shirt on, but it's also about potential damages and harm that that our clients suffered.